Welcome. It's been a minute. Well, what, 2 weeks actually. We're on another season break. And we're back. We're back with a bang. And today, for those, we are on lesson 33. For those that don't know, lesson 33 comes from a letter to my son, a book that I wrote when I was in hospital recovering from a road traffic accident. And lesson 33 basically talks about keep your options open. And today I'm talking to the amazing and beautiful and ridiculously solid personal friend of mine, club DJ par excellence. Absolutely phenomenal. But of course, you're going to learn more about her and who she is and what she's all about tonight. So as usual, for those that know this program, we start by reading an extract from the book. And an extract from the book, this is the book. You can find it on Amazon. Just type Tendai Garwe and it will show you this cover. Or you can call me directly or inbox me directly and I'll make sure you get a copy. If you are in the US, yes, US, let me know. You also can get a copy. And if you're in South Africa, you can also get a copy. So just send me and a DM and I'll definitely let you know where you can get the book. And like I said, today we're talking about keep your options open. And let's get to it. One thing I've learned about rehab, Tawanda, is that I have the power and it is my responsibility to have options. But do not put all your eggs in one basket. When you're planning, make sure that there are options. Not that you're planning to fail, but you're planning to win. And know that you're not in total control of all that happens in the world and its elements. If people don't include you or invite you, don't feel left out or excluded. Make a plan to always hang out on your own. Make a plan to make money while you're at it. Just experience life for yourself. The phone was about to fall. The phone was about to call. The phone was about to drop. Right. Let's Ed King her. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes, there are now copies officially in the US and Canada. The book is going international. International. It's gone to Dubai, Canada, United States of America. It's in different states. And it's in South Africa. It's all over. It's all over. And I'm waiting for King Her to accept my request. I sent her. There she is.
You haven't finished reading your paragraph here.
Oh my God.
I was following. You haven't finished reading your paragraph.
I just read the first part. Why should I read the whole thing? They should buy the book so they read the whole thing. You know what I mean? But okay. Well,
I was following.
We can indulge them later, but for now, we just read the first paragraph. How are you?
Good and you? Good and
I
you?
am a fan. I'm a big fan.
Of course you're a fan. I'm also a big fan. I'm actually the bigger fan.
I'm the bigger fan. Oh, hell.
Yes.
Queen.
I still... But then, you see, you're Queen Monkey, so you're the first one. You come first.
Sure, you are King Her. You cut across the whole kingdom. I love you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm actually doing very well. So I have something to tell you. You wrote this. Remember you addressed this book to Liam.
Yes.
So I'm seeing Liam next week, and I'm finally giving him the book. Finally.
Well, I know he's young. I know he's young,
but
I hope it will make sense to Liam.
Yeah.
Well,
it will
Liam
make a lot of sense.
Is King Her's son. People don't know you can read. Do they know you can read?
They didn't know. Like, until today, people are still shocked. They're like, how old? What? Where? When did this happen? But yeah.
We'll never disclose your age. That's none of their business.
No,
You are
I'm
just
21 for the next 10 years. That's what I say.
you're ageless.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. No age, 21 until you see actual wrinkles. That's when I'll maybe say I'm 22, not 21, but 22.
So, guys, if you don't know her, her name is King Her. Well, everybody calls her King Her. I call her Natsumi because we are friends. Natsumi is a world renowned club DJ, internationally recognized. Zimbabweans should know that they have an internationally recognized club DJ who's played all over the world. Do they know how powerful you are? And of course, she's educated because people think you're not when you're a club DJ, you're not
Imagine.
educated. You are so educated. But Natsumi, I'm not gonna take that away from you because that's your story to share. So do tell me, who are you, Gelly? Who are you?
King Her is a bag of everything. When I mean a bag of everything, from a graphic designer to a TV presenter with Anna Soko, because of you guys, a DJ, I've marketing guru. What else have I? You know what? Like the funny thing is when I tell people, like when I show people my resume, they think I'm making it up. Like if I have to go back into corporate with my resume, they'll be like,
You're
zvanyanyisa
lying.
munhu uyu ari kunyepa. You can't be 1 minute in quality assurance, next minute you are a DJ. How does that make sense?
You've done quality assurance?
Yeah, for 4 years actually. For 4 years, I was actually working in a pharmaceutical industry. Tanga tichitoita kumanufacture my drugs, my periods, my cough syrups, and everything. And then one day I just decided this is just not me. I love entertainment. I love the arts industry, and I went for that direction instead.
So where did you grow up? I mean, who are your parents? Where are you from? Why are you exotic?
I am born and raised Zimbabwean. My grandfather's Chinese. My dad is Japanese. My grandmother is Zimbabwean. So I speak no Chinese, no Mandarin, no Japanese, nothing. I speak Shona because I was born and raised in Zimbabwe. Then I left Zim in 2000 and I think it was either 2010 or 2012, and I lived in South Africa for 10 years. And I came back to Zimbabwe because I missed home. And so, therefore, that has just been my upbringing in terms of being back and forth Zim and SA.
So you learned here, you learned in Zimbabwe. Where did you go to school?
Convent, Dominican convent. I'm a
Yeah,
convent girl.
man.
From grade one until the end.
You
Imagine
were with
grade
the
one.
nuns.
Yes, from grade one till the very end.
So did you write
That
Shona for O levels?
yes, I did. And
And you
I
got
failed. I don't know Tsumone Madimikira. I don't know those things.
you're useless. You're useless. You use them all the time, Wani. I mean, you're always shouting at me in Sumone Madimikira. How could you not know? I think you just didn't know that this is
No,
what
this
it
is
was.
this is what I actually did. What I did was there was L1 and L2 Shona, right?
Right.
So I went and I lied and I said I don't speak any Shona at all. Put me in L2. So I was in L2 Shona with all the white kids and all the Asian kids, and they were there, and I'm like, I know this stuff already, but it's okay.
Oh, Natsumi, you're bad.
Yeah,
And then what
I was
happened? So
that
you went to South
person.
Africa to study what? What were you studying in South Africa?
Multimedia and graphic design.
Where?
So I did that in it's a college called Damlin College. So their campus was in Bramley, and
Okay.
I was there for a good 2 years. Got my diploma, and my first job wasn't even graphic design. My first job was at a till in a supermarket. I
Which
know.
one?
Yeah,
Which
and
one?
then
Which one? We want to know the
a,
supermarket.
a small local grocery, one
Okay.
in the ghetto. In
Oh,
the ghetto, that's where it was. Yeah.
okay. And then?
And then from there, I went for an interview for quality assurance, had no idea what it was about. I had no experience in pharmaceuticals or quality assurance. I remember the day I went for my interview, the one thing I do remember is during my
Yeah.
interview, I was crawling on the floor, trying to explain something, but I was crawling on. I need a job, you need me, can you please hire me? And so the person that was actually doing the interview was like, your resume is so colorful, it's full of patterns, like you're a designer, why are you here? And I'm like, I have no other options, because with graphic design you need at least a couple of years experience before you get into an agency or a design agency or anything. So I ended up
Right.
getting the job in quality assurance, and I did filing for an entire year. I was actually just filing documents. And in the
Wow.
second year, I was auditing, and in the third year, I guess I was working besides pharmacists that were actually teaching me about the whole pharmaceutical industry, and actually going from plant to plant, actually auditing and doing quality checks. And it was a whole different experience, working in the micro lab, in the lab itself, in the factory itself, seeing how tablets and cough syrups are made, going through those checks and everything. So it was interesting. I was drawing up
And
SOPs.
4 years, Natsumi, 4 years. You were not bored?
4 years. 4 years.
You were
I don't know, I
not bored.
think with each year, not even, like with each year that came, something new was there. Like I managed to progress as the years came by. So from starting from filing to auditing in 4 years with no experience, I think that's what made me stay longer. I think
I
that's
mean, you
another
are
thing,
you
like,
You are half Asian, so you are, I mean, genetically smart, and half African. That makes you brilliant. You know what I mean? Because we are
hey.
the two most intelligent species anyway. You know, and then, so after 4 years, what then happened?
After 4 years, I challenged my boss, and he was someone that actually worked at the same company for over 35 years, and I
Right.
actually challenged him once. And it got to a point where we had a little quarrel, and he threatened me at work, and he was like, I can get you fired any day, you can go to HR and they can dismiss you, wada. And I'm like, okay, cool. And no one had ever challenged this man in 35 years. Challenged the
Right.
man, he got suspended for 2 years. I mean, not for 2 years, for 2 weeks. So in those 2 weeks, the director of the company was like, okay, so we want to get you out of your department, because obviously when he gets back, there will always be tension. Would you like to go into procurement? Now, I had no idea about procurement, because that's the whole warehousing, sourcing out raw materials and things. And I sat and I was like, this is not for me. And I was like, you know what? I've enjoyed my stay, 4 years of being in this company. I went and joined another company which then manufactured holistic medication, which is your herbal medication. And I went into sales and marketing. So I was there
So
for a
that's
year.
where it started.
That's where it started. So I had no idea what sales were about, what marketing was about, and they threw me in the deep end. They were like, right, you've got 26 sales reps that report to you nationwide, and this is the marketing side of it. Handle the marketing material and everything about it. And I was like, wow, what do I do now? And I had to go on Google for everything.
Google was your
That's where
bestie.
Google was actually my best friend. Like with sales and marketing, I had no idea. That's how it all started, by selling herbal medication, manufacturing and selling herbal medication.
So,
So I had no
okay, so
idea.
it
It
explains who
explains.
you are in terms of herbal medication. I'm just saying. And then what? And then how did you then transition? Because it clearly you kept your options open. That's why you were doing lesson 33. You were keeping your options open. Basically, you always have are ready for a clean slate. So then how did you leave pharmaceutical and where did you go from there? Where did you go?
Because I'm Zimbabwean and the company needed to cut down on staff. So the herbal medication company then decided to start retrenching people. And obviously, Zimbabwean me was the first on the list. And so I got retrenched and I was like, what am I going to do next? Like, what am I going to do? This is all I know. And I, luckily at that time, I had started freelancing as a graphic designer and I was getting some business here and there. And then I
Uh-huh.
started selling jewelry. So I started selling jewelry and clothes, which was making a lot of money. And I was like, okay. So all I need to do is go to the China mall, buy in bulk, and sell at 100% markup, and I'm good. And
So why
I
did you
did that
stop? I mean,
for,
why did you stop? You were already in fashion already.
I, until today, I don't know. I don't know. I think, okay, for me, the challenge was shipping. That was I didn't have enough like resources or knew how to go about doing the shipping thing. And that time I
Okay.
was like, okay, I don't know SA that well, but shipping costs were just too high for me. So I just could not. I actually, that's when I stopped and I came back to Zim. When I came back to Zim, I started working for Battle of the Chefs as a graphic designer. So I went back into graphics.
Okay.
So so they were shooting season 3 and I was doing the social media marketing and graphic design for them. And it was a whole different setup because that's when I was then exposed to the film side of things. And I knew nothing again about the film
Again, you
industry.
never know anything, Jon Snow.
I
What do you
That's the
ever
thing.
know?
When did I ever know? Like, I think when I look back and I look at all my work experience, I'm like, all these things, you just said yes and you just did these things. But it is what it is.
So Battle of the Chefs ended. I want to know when you then decided I am King Her and I'm going to be a club DJ.
After ZTN.
But where did King Her come from? Where did the name King Her come from?
So King Her came about from the time I left South Africa to come to Zimbabwe. Because
Okay.
just before I left South Africa, I actually started DJing at a couple of places like your news cafes and small bars in South Africa. I was an unknown DJ, one of those
Okay.
started DJ and then the main people come through, the main residents come through. And so King has started off as a bedroom DJ. It was just basically a hobby and it was something to pass time and to get stress off my mind. Because for me, like music is a very big tool for healing. And so during that time I was going through a lot and then music literally like healed me completely. And I started playing in small bars and it wasn't financially stable enough. And
Okay.
so when I decided to come back home, I was like, okay, fine. The industry in South Africa is very saturated in terms of DJs. And I did my research on Zimbabwe and I'm like, there's not that many female DJs, guys. I think I can make it here. And so I came back in 2016 and I spent the first year trying to network as much as possible, play at free gigs, get to know a lot of DJs in the scene. And I'm like, kunewakadzi 5 4. Okay, I think I can make it. I can make it. So
You're
I
like,
found, yes,
you're like if there are
I
five, I
found
can be number one. of the 5.
Exactly. So I found a loophole and I was like, you know what? In SA, there are thousands that I have to compete with. You know, it's not a competition, but sometimes you need to look at it that way. And I'm like,
Yeah.
5, it's bore. Like if there's 5 people, I'm sure, you know, to have myself break out into the industry, it wouldn't necessarily be that difficult. So I was happy.
So and then so you left ZTN, and then what was your first break? How was that? I mean, you transitioning from a nobody to now who you are now. I mean, you just took over like a madman.
And I keep hearing this because for me, I think the best year in terms of my career as King Her was 2019. That's when I realized, okay, this is real. Like this is now real. If you're getting triple bookings and you've got corporate after corporate contacting you, then you want to be featured here on this live and be interviewed there. That's when I realized, okay, I actually did something right. Like this is now big.
Again,
And
you didn't know. I mean, come on.
I didn't know. Like until today, like I'm the most humble person, and I think you always lecture me and you tell me, can you please start realizing yourself? Have you looked in the mirror lately? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
How can you
I'm
not
being
know? How can you not
I'm being
know?
for real. Last week I went to one of my residencies and I was talking to a fellow DJ friend, and he says to me, you know, yeah, I'm a DJ, but I'll never be as good as King Her. Then I said, no, you just need to practice, you'll be good. Then he was like, King Her, when are you going to learn to stop being humble? Do you not
Hey,
realize where you are?
again.
And I'm like, but what am I don't see it. I honestly don't see it. I just see myself as working hard and just trying to do my
So
best.
wait, let's backpedal. You said you practice. You actually practice to be a DJ. You just don't show up and plug in and make it happen.
I actually do take the time to practice. I think that's the one thing that most people don't realize is they think that you just go there and then you start pressing buttons and then it's done and dusted. No, it's actually a lot of work. Like DJing, you have to learn how to use the equipment. You have to learn how to read your crowd. If your crowd is not feeling Amapiano, you'll be standing there with a dead crowd the entire time and they'll never book you again. If
So
they want
you're
some
also
dance
a
for,
prophetess in a bower. You have to be a prophetess in
yes,
bower.
yes, you have to foresee what they want. If they want some dancehall and you do not know how to play some dancehall, nor do you have the tracks whatsoever, you are going to flop. It will be a very uncomfortable set, not for your audience, but for yourself as a DJ. So it's a lot of work. It's actually a lot. It's stressful. It can be stressful.
You make the stress look so good. I mean, if this is how stress looks like, then give me some of your stress. What was
Because
what
now I've
what I know that you did a lot of things when you started doing work with the British Council. What was that thing that you did?
so they had a program with a place called Modzi Arts, which is based in Zambia. So they were doing a workshop where they had 5 international DJs come through to mentor 16 upcoming DJs as well from different parts of Africa. So the 5 mentors, one was Gina, she's from Cape Town, but she's originally from Namibia. We had
Okay.
Miss Selfie from Zambia. Emily Dust, she's from the UK. She also works for BBC Radio.
Okay.
Katu, she's from Uganda. And myself, King Her from Zimbabwe.
Did you
First
just
time
say
ever.
international? You just say
Yes,
international. Did you hear
yes,
yourself
yes.
say international with
And
your own words?
and it's the first time a Zimbabwean DJ ever went, female DJ ever went to represent her country as a DJ in the DJ industry. And I got to meet a lot of brilliant women, a lot of upcoming DJs. I mean, 16 women from different parts of Africa, Mozambique, Botswana, you know, Kenya. It was a really awesome experience, and to get to share my knowledge with them. And now when I see a year later where all these ladies have progressed, like the same ladies I mentored, sometimes I'm like, whew, I need to wake up because they're catching up. so so it's it was fun, and I wish that you know, we could get more opportunities here in Zim to actually showcase ourselves as artists, especially the DJing industry. I mean, there should have been more talk about this, Soko.
Well,
There
I
should
know
have
that
been.
they're talking about it now and they're going to Google about it. But does it make money, Natsumi? I mean, are you sustaining your life with being a DJ?
It depends what route you want to take. If you want to do it for the fame and to be popular, and so that a lot of people can see you and be like, oh yeah, there's DJ so, and you're just doing it for the hype and you're not working smart, then you'll be a broke DJ. But if you're doing it with the, yes, I'm being honest, you'll be a broke DJ. You can wear your Gucci jacket with your Gucci shoes, stand behind the deck with your fancy headphones and pop your bottle in the club, but you are a broke DJ. That is the reality of it. If you are not working smart and all you think about is just the club life and being a club DJ, I've learned in this industry you have to be business smart. Like, there's the business side to music. If you are just going to focus on playing in the club, you will be broke. You will be broke. So as a DJ, I've learned to target the more business sector of it, whether it's working with corporates, whether it's working, because DJing is not just about music. You've become an influencer of some sort. And
Wow, wait,
so
whoa. You're working with corporate, you are an
yes,
influencer, you're a brand ambassador, all that.
that's how you work smart if you want to make money as a DJ. If you're going to sit there and just play your music in a club or kubawa or at a festival, I'm sorry, I think this is the first time I'm actually saying this. You'll be a broke DJ. You're not,
Natsu,
if you wanna be on DJ Tira's level, Zinhle, and all of these
King,
other famous DJs.
King,
Yeah, yeah. Do you think we're just do you think we're just pressing buttons in the bower? We're not doing that. You still need to have a business side to it. It's not just the entertainment side, it's the business side to it as well.
So how many clubs are you resident at now?
Now, because of the trickiness of COVID, we can say two that are
Okay.
safe to be at. That are safe to be at. But if Miss Rona wasn't here, then and things get back to normal, we can safely say four residencies.
You've got 4 residents, and how many brands are you pushing at the moment?
I've lost count. Actually, now I need to sit in one. Wait, what? One, two. You know, I should have prepared this.
Okay,
I'll DM you.
you know what? A lot of people are out there thinking that, you know, there are no options of making money, there are no creative ways of making money, and here you are. But wait, what happened to your DJ classes? What happened to those? You used to teach kids, you used to teach grown-ups. What happened? Is it the Rona as well?
Yes, it's the Rona. To be honest, it's the Rona. Because what I noticed, especially here in Zim, a lot of when it comes to kids, a lot of the main focus is on the data usage for online classes for school.
Right.
So for me to do something that's like an extra activity for them, it's an extra cost in terms of data. So I had already started planning to have the
Unless, of course,
workshops and
it's
the
too
classes.
far. But anyway, yeah.
But then Miss Rona came. What I've actually done is I've applied to a lot of funding places to actually have something started. So I not only want to have workshops and classes for kids, but I want to actually start teaching women that actually do want to get into the DJ industry, but not just how to use the equipment, but also the business side of it. And hopefully by October, the ching ching comes through, and then I can have actual proper classes. Like, not even like, I want to get as many women as possible on board, because I can't be by myself seeing kuti, hey, I want to 5. At least let me feel kuti, hey, I want 100. Now it's real.
You know that to me, I love that you always keep your options open, and you're always out there looking for things that make Natsumi better, that makes your brand stronger. And I was telling a friend of mine that if you ever want your house designed, you should call Natsumi. Like, I promise you
I painted those.
Imagine that. And that wall, guy, that wall wasn't even there. You made that wall.
This wall took me 3 days to paint. This whole wall took me 3 days.
So are you going to pursue that? Is interior design for the elite going to be part of who Natsumi become?
I think so. I think I should gravitate towards that. Like, I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, I don't want to just do one thing. Like what you said in your book, we have many options. And the thing is, for me, is when I die, like, I want to have a King Her Towers, a King Her clothing store, a King Her institution, some educational institute, a King Her statue. There'll be a King Her statue in First Street somewhere. Yes. Yes, they must. You'll see a King Her statue somewhere there in First Street. Even if it's in Park, it's okay, as long as my King Her statue is there. That's what I want. King Her must be everywhere. It must be. It's not like, for me, it's not just a DJ brand. It's a brand that can just, and like, I want to have all these King Her entities, because I push a lot of women empowerment, and I want to employ as many women as possible to say, if I can do it, so can you. So that's just where I want things to be.
And like, that's why I want for being a pseudo manager. I just want to be paid. Yes. You know what I mean?
But we made an agreement. If you become a billionaire first, I'll come knocking by your door. Just ask for a young 100,000. If I make my billion first, my 100,000 is coming straight to you.
Bruh, if it's a billion, I want a million. Why am I getting 100,000?
Okay, fine. A million. It's fine. A million. It's okay. It's cool. Okay, I'll give you a million.
Thank you. So Liam, yes. I mean, Liam, what are you leaving for him? What legacy are you leaving for him, and what do you want him to know?
So I'm like, for me, like, the one thing is, it's very hard to be a mom and be in a different country, and your offspring is learning in a different country. So
I know,
like, what I know. We both. Yes. By the way, how's my son?
your son is well. How's mine? He just turned 8, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He just turned 8.
Mm.
So like, it's very difficult as a mother to be separated from your child. And the one thing I said to myself is, during this time, like, I want the best for him. So during this time, let me try and do as much as possible that I possibly can to create financial stability, so that when he's much older, he doesn't have to struggle. He doesn't have to go through the whole process of, okay, I'm unemployed, what do I do next? Or I don't have money for university, or I want to start a business, what do I do? So me putting in all this effort now is so that he doesn't have to struggle in future. And so another thing is, I want to leave a legacy of some sort to him, to say, look, we've been apart for some time. I had to work, you had to go to school in another country, but this is here for you. Make the most out of it. So at least I know with that time, I'm using it wisely. I'm not sitting around doing nothing. I'm actually taking that time to actually create something for the next generation and the next generation and the next generation, because those grandchildren need to polish my statue, Sha.
And you know, I also somebody sent me a question on Twitter and said, you know how the club night, the whole nightclub life is hectic with drugs, sex, scandals. How have you kept to your brand so pure and away from all these things?
I'll tell you something. I was very oblivious to what the nightlife is like. I just thought, everybody goes, has a good time or whatever. And I learned when you get into the entertainment industry, the nightlife is just full of its demons. Like, it's either you become a drug addict or you become an alcoholic or you become a serial cheater or
Yeah,
it's crazy. And the one thing I kept saying is keep your eye on the prize. Eye on the
right.
prize is you want to be on top. Eye on the prize is you're making your money. Eye on the prize is you're building a legacy. And at the same time, you need to maintain a very good reputation. Because the minute you screw up your reputation, then everything else just falls from there. So that's something that I've made sure to just maintain is don't get caught up in the nightlife drama, in the nightlife demons. Because once you get caught up in those, it's very hard to get yourself out.
And for those that actually don't know, I'm sure you've seen that my posters have changed. They've got more swag and color. And they're being designed by King Her herself. I just call her like, yo, bestie shot. Poster. So if you want, you know, some graphic design, some logos. Ooh, and I did get a logo done for the
I
Lofty
saw.
Corner. I'm still getting,
Oh, okay.
the one you did, the Lofty Corner, that I'm still yet
And when
to.
is it open? We're still waiting for this lofty corner to open.
The Rona delayed it, and I know it's supposed to be online, but I'm gonna make sure that it, you know, it happens. It's herbs. It's mainly herbs, and I'm still
Yeah.
learning and growing around the herbs. So you know, definitely bring it. But you know,
Ah.
Natsumi is multi-talented, and I mean, she's a one person who I always pick up the phone and say, Natsumi, I am stuck. Please jolt my brain. So, what should we expect from King Her outside all the things that you said, including clubs? Because me, I want a club with your name on it. You know what I mean? But what is the outside the October you told us, and we're looking out for? What is the other thing we should look out for 2021?
So I've been getting a lot of pressure from people to start releasing music.
Yeah!
And a lot of people
Oh,
and so I'm not gonna say a specific date because I'm going to shoot myself in the foot, but I'm sure.
Tell us a
At
day.
some
But it's
point
this year, right? At least a single.
this year I'm really, you know what, I'm setting my mind to getting one of the archives out and saying to myself, I think it's time. Like, I think it's honestly time for me to start releasing. You know, it even gets to a point where Zimbabwean artists even approach and they're like, but Iwo, when am I doing a collaboration with you? Why are we still waiting? And I'm like, oh, so is it that serious now?
You collab with Natty O. Woo, woo.
Ah, that's my brother. That is my brother. I actually should. And so
Yeah.
by this year I should. You know what? I think it's time. I think it's
Come
time for
on
me
now.
to start
You heard
releasing.
it first on my platform, King Her. We'll be dropping a single. It might be a collabo, it might be her own work, but she is coming out with punches. You know what? You should just
It might even have.
you know
Hey,
the whole
it
thing
might
you
even
did
have.
with the DJs, ukuthi kune 5 chete. I also think kune ma female artists ari kurira 5 chete. So unokurongo dai so. Ukatanga kuti
But
number 1.
not gonna work with my female artists. One time, pa.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
make it. We make it a whole anthem. We make it a whole anthem.
Oh wow, I am super excited for you. I really think that, you know what, it's about damn time. I've heard your music, I've heard you're producing, and I don't know why you're shy. I think it's time the world experienced your energy.
You know how we always say our biggest critiques are ourselves. So
That's true.
I think that's where I'm like in between, because I keep telling myself, is this good enough? Is this not good enough? And when I let
Right.
other people listen to the stuff that I actually do produce, they're like, but why is this sitting here? And I'm like, because it just doesn't feel like it's ready. It doesn't feel like it's there yet. Like, I want my first track that I release to have that it must come with power. Not kungo release I chete saying, oh, here's a track, guys, listen to this. I want something where when it comes out, people are like, okay, right, the game has changed now. That's what I want.
Uzwaye.
It mustn't be small. It
Okay.
mustn't be small. It must be to the point where it even turns into a whole movie, a whole series. That's what I want.
I love your vision. I love your dreams. You know, Natsumi, you know, a lot of people keep asking me who gets interviewed. It's people, show them you have a copy. It's people who
Guys,
actually bought the book that are
Futi,
buying
mine is signed by the order. Can you see? Guys, don't be jealous. Don't be jealous. I actually read the book twice.
right.
Like, it was that good. Like, how you say, yes, it's a letter to my son and things. And I think I was waiting to actually tell you this, but not only is it just a book that I want to give my son, and it's an awesome book that will teach him like a lot of life lessons, but this book's been teaching me too. Like, I read things and I'm like, but Natsumi, yeah.
Kanjani, you can
You know,
hear my
limit your
voice.
private.
I know you can
I
hear my voice.
do.
You're
I
like
do. That's
this.
the weirdest thing is I sat the one day I sat, it took me a day to read. Like, I literally sat, I was glued. I did not talk to anybody, put my phone down. I sat in my room, read the entire book, and I could hear your voice as I'm reading. Like, even all the puns that you put, and like when you even like speaking the whole Shona codes, and you've got your little jokes in there, and I can literally hear your voice. I can literally hear, and I'm like, okay, okay. Like, even like the parts of the book that I like the most is when you put in your like diary, journal blogs
Oh,
that you had
thank
written,
you.
and I read those and I'm like, my friend actually went through this, and every time I came to visit you, you just had a smile on your face, and like, oh no, I'm cool, it's fine. Did you bring me my Zeppi? Did you bring me chocolate? And I'm thinking,
Natsumi used to
but
bring me contract band.
your matron almost saw me
Natsumi, you were
smuggle junk food. That's your problem.
You were
I remember.
fun.
Do you know, I felt like such a drug lord when I would come with the illegal food for you. Chips and chocolate. Do you know how I had to smuggle that stuff to say, here, I've brought the goods. Like,
Do you know, Natsumi, so that people also know, I mean, my sister and I started working on another book, but when I was working on this book, and I'm going to interview my sister next week, actually, Lucy, yeah, Lucy, I realized my journey, my spiritual journey was very much influenced by you. And I also want to write about that. You know, I want to write about the journey I experienced when I was at Ether Evans. And even though it was contraband, but there were other amazing spiritual things that we did together.
yeah.
And I think, yeah, I think it's time.
Yes, it is time. It's
It
actually
is time.
time.
Well, Natsumi,
Yeah.
what do you have to say to the world before I say goodbye? Because you are late. Wait, you are absolutely awesome, my friend. I
Thank
adore
you.
you, and I always tell people, King, mira nimfonere. Like, like I love showing off that I know an international DJ personally who's played in Dubai, South Africa. I just saw a US invitation to play at my friend Tatenda's wedding. His wedding in August, so I think he wants you to fly and play
I
in
have
the
no
US.
bookings in August.
So, and I saw somebody else, asking what mix are you. If you go to the start of the video, you will see which mix she is, like what nationality she's mixed. What you wanted people to know, your parting words.
I think, hey, yeah, that's a very deep question right now. So my parting words are like, okay, 2020, 2021 has been the most, but like in reference to keeping your options open, because that's my topic on this live with
Yeah,
Sogostina, is
yeah.
don't be lazy. Like, do not be lazy. That is, I'm not even going to be. There's one thing you taught me is don't be too soft on someone that you care about. If they need tough love, they need tough love, and it has
Yeah.
worked. Like sometimes I'll call you and you'll be like, ah, Natsumi, serious. And I'm just like, why is she so mean? Why can't she just say I love you when you were doing a good job? Like, no. Like, I'm also going to be that person that gives tough love. Stop being lazy and stop doubting yourself and stop looking at one option thinking that, okay, I can't do anything else. There are so many other options and so many other ways that you can actually progress in life if you just put your mind to it and do the research. And that's not me even like making up anything. Like if you need to start baking and selling biscuits, do that. Like at the end of the day, a hustle is a hustle is a hustle. So yes, stop being lazy. Those are my parting words.
Absolutely.
So
Just stop being lazy and bring my fairy garden. I'm just putting it out there. Natsumi makes fairy gardens. And
plus
fairy
I owe
gardens
you
are
eyeliner. I owe you eyeliner as well.
eyeliner and the fairy garden. But I want them to know about the fairy garden because I think you don't understand. A fairy garden has a lot of succulents in it. And these are like she built it in this beautiful clay thing that she personally paints. And then she puts these beautiful succulents, different types of succulents. And what people don't know about succulents is succulents are energy givers because they take
Ah,
water. Yes, they take water and they give life. So what if ever you get gifts of succulents and they dry, it means you are actually going through a dry season and you need to take better care of them. And also succulents teach you how to take good care of something. So it brings
yep.
discipline, and like you said, it stops you from being lazy. You can't be
Yes.
lazy. So
Yes, that's very.
that to me it
Yes, I
was
owe
an
you a
honor
fairy
to
garden.
you do. Don't get very good. It was such an honor. And if you didn't read her article on Divas Inc., please go. We were back to back in Divas Inc. Hey, hey, what? People shouldn't see me, bruh. We're quite big people.
You
So,
know.
and I also saw you on the So Creative Hub. Is it? Is it what it's called?
Yes, So Creative Summit. So it's the summit for 2021. So they were actually supposed to have it in Zambia to host the whole summit there in Zambia, but because Miss Rona is still here with us, they've decided to go online. So the Creative Summit is going to be over the next 3 months. So June, no, May, June, and July.
There you
So
go. And
you'll be seeing
I'll come to one of the sessions that you are at. Just let me know. But if you
definitely,
didn't know,
definitely.
our CV is strong. She's played at Hi-Fi. She's played at what's that one in at the museum? Um, what's
The
that
art
one?
gallery. Which one?
Yeah.
There are so
No,
many. Haifa,
the festival. Okay.
Jacaranda,
Yes,
RSVP.
Jaka.
You guys, we miss those things. I know.
Is one of the not one of the she is the most sought after female DJ in Zimbabwe, club DJ for personal events, for corporate events, for weddings, for whatever it is. At my funeral, she would have been playing that. You know what I mean? But thank you so much to me, and I
Thank
know,
you so
and
much.
I totally love you. I believe in you, and I'm in your corner 24/7. And I know it's just the beginning, especially with the singing coming out. I'm sure by then I'll be walking and I'll do a TikTok challenge for you. So where do
Yes.
people find you and how do they book you?
I've got my bookings email address on all my social media platforms. So it's
Okay.
official King Her Bookings at gmail.com. Yeah.
So do follow her
But if
across
they
all
want to
social media.
Yeah, official King Her on Facebook and Instagram, and then DJ underscore King Her on Twitter. And on TikTok, where we do not do things that are normal, it's DJ underscore King underscore Her. Yes, you are also part and parcel of the TikTok madness.
I am. I am. But you know, that is
Mhm.
like that's a secret whole life. That's a whole secret life. But
It's not
only
a
when you
secret anymore. It's not a secret when you start posting it on Instagram.
Ebero, Ebero,
Ah, it's
God.
not a
But
secret.
thank you so much. I appreciate you. And the graphic designer news doing an absolutely amazing job with my posters. And I love them.
Thank you so much.
Next week, I interview my older sister, who was the first one to buy the book, first one to read the book, and who also knows the journey of who I am. But Lucy is also just like Natsumi. She keeps her options open. I think I'm surrounded by
Open.
amazing humans. Yeah. So
Thank you
please,
so much,
I'm gonna
sister.
save this live and then I'm gonna download it and I'm going to save it. Also, do follow me on my YouTube channel, Sokostina. You find it there. I will upload it later on tonight. And also, yeah, Natsumi and I are actually besties. Okay,
Yes.
disclaimer. Yeah,
Mm-hmm,
but
mm-hmm.
you see, as you show me your friends, and I'll show you where you're going. There's mine. There's mine. There's mine. That's where I'm going. I'm dancing to you being my friend. Did you see the dance? All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
And